Welcome to the Deep Dive. We dig into the data so you don't have to. Today, we're tackling Europe's weather outlook, specifically for July 25th through the 31st, 2025. We've pulled together insights from some top meteorological sources, and honestly, it paints a complex picture, a real dual threat.
It really does. You've got these widespread, intense heat waves hitting large parts of Europe, West Russia, even the North Caucasus. And this is the tricky part, at the same time, there's still this surprising risk of severe local storms. Think heavy rain, flash floods. It's dynamic.
Okay, dynamic is a good word for it. Let's maybe zoom out first. Put this week into context. We keep hearing Europe and the Arctic are warming much faster than average, more than double, right?
That's the headline figure, yeah. More than double the global rate. And the crucial point here, I think, is that extreme weather isn't just an occasional thing anymore. It's rapidly becoming the new normal for us. Take June 2025. That was the warmest June on record for Western Europe.
Wow, the warmest ever for Western Europe. That really drives home how fast things are changing. So this brings us straight to these heat waves dominating right now. What's feeding them?
Well, the sources are pretty clear. It's a combination. You have these persistent high-pressure systems, heat domes, they call them, trapping the heat. And crucially, they're combining with these really unusual marine heat waves. Ocean temperatures are way up.
Okay, marine heat waves. How exactly do they play into this? How do they make the land heat worse?
Right, good question. So, look at the Western Mediterranean. In June, sea surface temperatures shot past 28 degrees Celsius. Now, that's almost 4 degrees, 3.7 C above the average. That's huge. And what that does is it drastically cuts down on nighttime cooling. The sea just isn't cooling off, so the land doesn't either. You end up with what meteorologists call tropical nights. Minimum temperatures just don't drop below 20 Celsius. No relief.
No relief at night, and that pushes the daytime feels like temperatures into dangerous zones, I assume.
Exactly. That combination gets you into extreme heat stress warnings. We've already seen apparent temperatures hitting 48 Celsius in some spots. That's not just uncomfortable, it's a serious health risk.
And looking ahead, this coming week, July 25th to 31st, France and the Benelux countries, they've just had temps 10, even 14 degrees above normal. Paris hit 40 Celsius earlier this month.
And the UK's seen persistent heat too. London, East Anglia, several bursts over 30 degrees just this month.
Then further east, the North Caucasus looks like a steady climb towards nearly 39 Celsius by the end of July. And even Moscow, forecasting highs of 27 to 31 degrees, which is, definitely above average for them.
Yeah, the heat is widespread. But then there's the paradox, the other side of the coin we mentioned. Despite these generally drier seasonal forecasts for a lot of areas, you still have this significant threat of really intense but localized thunderstorms.
Right, how does that work? Heat waves and intense rain.
It's about instability. You get this warm, very humid air mass sitting there because of the heat. Then if a front comes in, usually from the Atlantic, that collision can trigger explosive storms. And here's something key. Long periods of dry weather, like drought, actually make flash flooding worse when the rain does come.
How so? That seems counterintuitive.
Well, the ground becomes baked hard, almost impermeable, like concrete. So when you get a sudden intense downpour, the water just runs straight off. It doesn't soak in. That leads to really rapid runoff and dangerous flash flood.
Okay, that makes sense. Baked earth equals faster floods. So where are the biggest risks for these storms in the next week?
Central Europe looks like a key area. Places like Italy, Austria, Czechia, Slovakia, Hungary. High risk there for large hail, damaging winds, and of course, heavy rain. And West Russia, particularly Moscow, they just had 2 separate events this July where they got a month's worth of rain in less than 2 hours. Unbelievable downpour.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, and remember, Russia as a whole is warming about 2.5 times faster than the global average. That seems to be fueling the intensity of these rain events. The North Caucasus might also see some isolated storms, maybe around July 26th.
So, putting this all together, this heat, this risk of sudden storms, what does this really mean for you listening right now? What are the impacts on the ground?
Well, they're pretty wide-ranging. Obviously, public health is a major one. Increased heat stress, higher mortality rates, especially in cities. Then there's the strain on infrastructure, power grids working overtime, roads buckling in the heat, maybe transit systems disrupted by sudden floods. It affects daily life.
And the economic cost must be huge, too.
Absolutely. Just looking at heat waves alone, one report estimated damages across 38 European countries hit $45 billion in 2023. That's billion with a B.
Okay, so the clear takeaway here isn't just about one hot week or a few freak storms. This is the reality of a climate that's changing fast. This mix of extreme heat, the underlying dryness, and then these sudden, violent downpours. It's a complex system with cascading risks.
Right, and it really forces a shift, doesn't it? We can't just react anymore. We need to think proactively, adapt.
So the question for you is, what does this new normal really mean for how you plan things? Travel, or just how you understand what's happening outside your window?
It forces us to think about resilience.
Exactly. What's the real cost down the line of not building that resilience into our lives, into our communities, our systems? Something to think about. Until the next deep dive.